Hi y'all, it's Jen from Wooden Word Blooms, and today we're going to create this little gnome ornament with a flower crown. Or you can create it without the flower crown too. The macrame at the bottom is super simple, and you're going to start with this wood blank, and there's several pieces, and you're going to paint this however you want. You can decide if you want to paint the back or just the front, if it's going to be a magnet or if it's going to be hanging. All the little pieces are extra add-ons like the nose and the brim of the hat, and the little puff on the top. So if you want to add those in, you can. If you want to just paint directly onto your wood blank, you can also. So I skipped the painting because the painting part isn't as exciting. I painted mine pink and white, as you will see. My first one was blue. You can really go as crazy as you want with the colors, and it may take 2 coats to fully cover. Now I did the 3 flowers here as the flower crown, but you could do just 2 flowers or 1 flower or no flowers at all if you want as well, and skip the flower crown and just make this a super cute gnome. Your flowers could always be repurposed as something else. So first thing I'm going to do is glue on the nose, because that's sort of the base that we need to know where that's going. So once my little guy is down there, I am going to use that as a placement, and then I know where the white of my hat is where I'm going to do my flowers, and I could just do a single flower wherever I wanted. And for me, this rose even feels a little too big, so I'm twisting off an outer petal layer just to make it a little bit smaller. Do that carefully, and then you trim the bottom of your flower, being careful not to trim where there is the string, but make sure that you go above that, or I should say below that. Then your flower can sit flatter on your gnome. If you're doing 3 and going across, that won't be maybe quite as important because they can lean into each other. Now, this greenery, we're going to trim into smaller pieces, much too big as it is. So the little pieces we're going to use as the base where these are coming from. And so I did the 3 flowers on my sample that you can see. This one I'm just going to do a single flower kind of hanging out on the hat, looking super cute. I'll show you some examples later of what other people did, just to give you ideas, but really this is about unleashing your creativity. So you can pull this apart with scissors, wire cutters, even just your hands. I don't know how many little bits I'm going to use, but I'm thinking at least 4. And I'm going to create a little base of my greenery. So next we're just going to glue those little bits down once you figure out your configuration. You don't want a ton of glue, just enough it's going to hang out there. If greenery is popping up, you can trim a little needle or a little petal off so that it will lay flatter as well. You can also hold it down with your finger, or I'll demonstrate shortly with a wire cutter if you don't want to get the glue on your hands. Hot glue is hot. If you do get on your hands, quickly rub it off, because the longer it sits, the worse it will be. So as you can see here, I'm just going to be gluing my greenery bits down, and I'm doing sort of like a bed of greenery going opposite each other, and the flower is going to nestle in the middle. So I'm going to speed this next part up just so you don't have to sit here too long. So just adding in those other bits, and now I'm adding the flower, a little dab of glue on the bottom, holding it down, and then I'm going to go in around the outside. I can see spots that I need to fill, gaps, and hide, adding a little pine cone, adding a little berry, again, just using your hot glue, and kind of figuring out where you want to go. I'm adding my little buds there. Those could also be painted. You can watch the painting tutorial to see how to do that if you want to add extra colors to your flowers or your little buds. And I'm just gluing my little part on the top, and now we're at the part with the macrame. And in true Jen fashion, I left the macrame cord at my studio, so I'm going to demonstrate how to do this with the twine so that you get the idea. So you want to see how long do you want your beard to be. I've pre-measured out your cord in your kit, so you're actually going to divide it into 5 even pieces, and that should give you enough. And then if the beard's a little long, you can trim it from there. So in this case, I'm just going to show you with the twine. It's a whole lot thinner, and it would take probably 20 pieces of twine to make a full beard. So you're going to bend it in half, right? So you've got your top part and then the bottom, maybe a little even, no problem. And what you're going to do is you're going to work the bent part through the little macrame hole there. So I am going to loop my 2 ends through the loop and pull that tight. Now, of course, a little less dramatic when it is twine, but you can see it comes down just like this and it makes a knot. Depending on which way you put it through that little hole, you will see a different side, and you can decide, do I like this side or do I like the look of the other side? Honestly, both sides are really cute, so it's up to you. And so I'm just going to show you one more time. So again, bend your piece in half that you've cut your 5 even pieces. You're going to slide it through, and just make sure you do the same direction every time and don't get confused because then it might look a little funny. And then take your 2 ends, go right through the loop. Now, if you are a macrame artist and you want to do something much more creative and gorgeous, absolutely go for it. But it's just a beard of a gnome, so I kept this really simple. And then you're going to kind of see that the ends may not be exactly the same length. You can easily trim those with some nice sharp scissors. And then you can also do what I'm going to do next, and I'll demonstrate this on the actual macrame cord because it won't work on the twine, but you're going to unravel the cord, and so that you can make this look much more like a real beard. If you wanted your beard to be a color, you could also beforehand dye this macrame cord as well if you wanted to. So I'm just untwisting. There are 3 pieces, they're wound together, and so you're going to unwind them, and then you're going to grab your brush or you're going to grab your comb, not just your fingers like me, and you're going to comb those out so that you separate all those little strands and really make this look much more like a beard. And then you can give your guy a trim in the end. I gave mine a trendy pointy beard, but yours could just be flat across as well to look like whatever you might like. So whether you do the 3 flowers, whether you do just 2 flowers or even 1 or no flowers at all, the macrame beard is definitely the part that makes the ornament for sure. Once you've got your beard all set, you want to make sure also that you loop something through the end to be able to hang this. I didn't demonstrate that for some reason, but that's important to do as well so that you can hang this on a tree or from your car mirror. If you're going to make this a magnet, you could just pop a magnet on the back. And you can even scent your flowers if you've added them to your ornament. Any essential oil or fragrance oil popped right on, and this will add a little scent. So 2 different sort of styles of how you could do your gnome, completely up to you. Have fun, be creative. I'd love to see what you make, so be sure to share it with me. And here's one more example just to show you super simplistic, just a flower, not even any greenery. Have fun!